Tonight we are going to be speaking with Joseph out of Altoona, Pennsylvania, with the Altoona, Pennsylvania Paranormal Society. Joseph, can you hear us?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay, Joseph, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
You said you might have some other people with you, right? Or are you by yourself?
No, it's just me tonight.
Okay.
Nobody can make it.
Tell us a little bit about how you got your name. I know you were called something else at one point we were talking about the other night, and now you're Altoona. Tell us what happened, or how you came about it.
When we first started, we had the Altoona, Pennsylvania Paranormal Society name. Well, we decided to change it, and really didn't get as many calls as what we did when we were the original name, so we just went back to the original name. How we got it says we live in the town of Altoonia in Pennsylvania.
Okay. How's it working out when you change your name? You getting more calls now, or?
Since we changed it back, yes. But actually, we have been getting more calls.
I'm curious, what did y'all do for Halloween? Did y'all have anything going on, or you just go out there and eat a bunch of candy?
Well, trick-or-treat night here was on the Thursday before Halloween. My wife went to work, who's Nicole, and I went out with a couple other guys to investigate.
Oh, you did have an investigation that night?
Yes, sir.
Oh, tell us a little bit about it. What happened? Did it seem to, since it was Halloween and the theory is that the spirits are more active this night, did it make any difference?
Not really. Basically, it's just like any other time that we go out for an investigation. We just go out and do what we got to do, and we find something, we find something. We don't, we don't.
You know, a couple of years ago, when Halloween actually fell on a Saturday night, we had an investigation, and it was a full moon that night also. This investigation was in a really nice house that was built in the early 1900s, and it was way, way down a big old long dirt road out in the field. And, you know, we didn't see that much difference in between doing one on any other night. That's Cindy. She was doing.
See, we had a residential home here in Altoona, and a couple pictures I took, it looked like there was a full apparition of a man that looked like from the Western times.
Wow. Have you got that posted anywhere?
I haven't got a chance to post it on the site yet. Once I get a chance to get to the internet, I'll be more than happy to post it for everybody.
Yeah, that's another thing, too. Were y'all affected by the Sandy coming up through there?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing up there, Joseph? Y'all doing okay?
Pretty good now, since we got most of the streets cleaned up and most of our wires connected up. You know, the wire for our internet's still down. Hopefully that'll be in by Friday, so.
Well, you know, I didn't even think about that until you just said something about the internet. How hard did y'all get hit up there?
Oh, we got some trees down, and a couple of houses have been blown with the roofs.
Wow. You need anything up there, Joseph? Anything that we can send you or get people to send?
Not that I can think of, no. But I appreciate the gesture.
Wow. You know, we're all a para family, but we got to help our own. Getting to this hurricane and all of that energy that it has in it, do you think that would have any bearing on paranormal activity?
That's hard to say.
Yeah.
Because it could be nature, or it could be something dealing with paranormal. I can't really answer that.
All right, I'm sorry. I don't mean to sound gruesome, but
that's perfectly fine.
You know, I don't know if you ever watched the Kling brothers when they had their television show, but you know they would do this, all these tests, and you know, catching EVPs on a blue lightning strike, whatever a blue lightning strike is. I've yet to figure that one out, but Anyway, getting back to you. Can you tell the people how to reach your Facebook page and your website?
Yeah, go on Facebook at www.Altoona, Pennsylvania Paranormal Society.com. It's our Facebook page. Now, there's two on there. There's one that has all orange, and there's one that just has our letters. You can get a hold of us in either one of them, and we try to answer questions and chat to anybody who wants to speak with us.
Well, Joseph, before Mike jumps back in there again, I would like to ask, what has been your most intense investigation? Tell us what happened.
Oh, boy.
Put you on the spot, Joseph. Come on, you can do it, buddy. I got faith in you.
Last year, I don't know if you've heard anything about here in Altoona, but we have, it's called railroad up around here. Well, there's a horseshoe curve. Well, we were going through these one tunnels, and at first there was no fog or nothing. We go through the whole way, we turn around to go back through, got out to the other side, and it was nothing but fog.
Wow.
At that point in time, there was, back in World War II, that's with Hitler, with the Jews and all that. The guy took these kids into this tunnel, drowned them, beat them, whatever.
Oh, my goodness.
I can't really tell you what he really did, because I don't really know. Well, anyway, the story was he brought them back through there, did whatever he did, and they say at certain nights you can see the children walking out trying to play games, laughing, having fun. But in a point in time, this man's going back to where the kids are, chasing them back into the tunnel.
Wow.
For me, I was in the area. I've seen the kids. I figured I'm going to go down and see if I can play with them. Well, as soon as I did that, this big blast of fog came towards me. I got out of there as quick as I could because I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
If it was the guy or if it was something else coming towards me.
Wow. Oh, that's pretty good.
You know, that reminds me of years and years and years ago, I lived in a town called Belton, and it was just about maybe a quarter of a mile from the lake they had out there, and they had a fishing pier. And I would go down there late at night when I got off work, when I didn't have to be back until 11 or 12 o'clock the next day, and I would fish. Well, where you had to park at, they had these great big dumpsters, green dumpsters out there. And there were some people down there, and the only place I had to park was right, in front of those green dumpsters. Well, I went down there and started fishing. They left, and I carried my little radio, and it was around Halloween, and the station I was listening to would each night they would play a different, a scary story. And just so happened this night they were telling about the ship that was on the lake or sea. I don't remember where it was, but it was out there, and they noticed this fog bank coming toward them, and the fog enveloped the ship. And the authorities found the ship the next day with nobody on it. And I mean, just to make a long story short, well, I was fishing down and around about midnight, a little after. I look out over the lake, and here comes this fog bank. And I was about 26, 27. And I got to looking at it, and this story had stuck in the back of my mind. And the closer that fog bank got, the more the story, I was hearing it in my mind. And it finally enveloped, and I mean, it was a thick fog, and it enveloped me and the area. And I lasted probably about 30 minutes after that, and I said, I'm going to pick it up and go home. So I got my stuff together, took it out in front of, my car was parked in front of these two dumpsters. I opened the trunk, put the stuff in, and slammed the trunk. And about that time, two raccoons come out of those green dumpsters, just noisy as hell. I screamed. They screamed. We both were running up this hill. They were in front of me running. I was running in back of them. And I was about halfway up that hill until I figured, hey, wait, I got a car. So, that you were talking about that, it just brought that to mind. I thought that was pretty funny. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Laugh, Joseph. It's your cue to laugh now. Go ahead and laugh. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Okay. Anyway.
Oh boy.
Yeah. How many team members do you have currently?
About 6.
And do they each have sometimes you'll read these people bio. You have one that's a researcher, one that's a historian or stuff like that. Do you assign anything like that to them, or are they all just y'all get together and go and investigate?
Well, they have their own particular part to the group, but most likely we just go out and do what we gotta do.
Well, Mike and I are kind of a jack of all trades. We do everything.
I can't, Waco, where we live at, Waco, Texas, is the hardest place I have ever seen to find any information about any kind of addresses. So,
right.
The historian type thing, it's kind of shot. So, when you started the Altoona, Pennsylvania Paranormal Society, what mission did you have in mind, Joseph, for the team? Basically, what your mission statement is.
Yeah, basically what we actually started is to help the people understand what is actually scaring them, or what the sounds actually are, and what they intended for their purpose of being at that place.
So basically, you're trying to educate.
That, and to help people that are in need for it.
Right. On your
My turn.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you ever allow your clients to go on the investigations with you?
Can you repeat that, please?
Do you ever allow the clients to go on an investigation with you?
Did you hear?
See, the way I like doing it is, we're in the residence. I prefer the client being there so that they know that we're not rigging anything or faking anything.
Exactly. We do the exact same thing, and that is one of the reasons we do that.
Just like you, I'm all about honesty.
You have to be. You have to be. Not all of them are, but, most of us try to be upfront about everything.
Joseph, we just got through with a public ghost hunt in West, and there's always somebody there that is going to, how do I put it, not believe. And
it's skeptic.
Yeah, and they told some other people there that we were faking stuff, and you can't get that type of reputation in this field.
Yeah, that's true.
But when you're conducting
when you're doing what? Conducting?
When you're conducting your investigations, what are your protocols for doing it? In other words, what are your ground rules for your investigations?
Well, for my crew, if we split up, we have at least 1 or 2 people with the person that's splitting up away. We don't go alone.
Okay.
When we have, for the EVPs, it's complete silence while the person's asking the question. Same thing if you're dealing with the pictures. For the simple fact, if you take a picture and someone says something, if there was something in that area, it could possibly scare it or make it move.
What is your favorite piece of equipment that you use?
Say it again. I don't think you heard you.
Yeah, I heard her.
Okay.
We have camcorders. We have EMF meters, ghost box. We have regular camera. I just bought another equipment. I haven't even figured out what it is, how to use it yet. So
What'd you
I
buy?
can't even really. I think it's the Milligauss.
Yeah.
You ever hear of that?
Yeah, the Milligauss meter. Yeah, it's is that the one that has the needle on it and it has a audible alarm to it? Is that the one you got, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
I just bought it, so I have no clue how to use that.
Well, you know how to get over that, don't you? Just take it out there, set it down, tell the ghost, do something.
Okay. Well, we also have those grids. Like I don't know if you've seen apps at all. Those little green grids that they have.
Oh yeah. The ghost net is what we call
them. We have
them.
a red one with it.
Now, I hadn't seen a red one. Where'd you get a red one at?
Actually, this is going to sound funny. I got it off eBay.
Amazon has a lot of good things too.
Have you ever looked on Amazon?
Pardon me?
I said, have you ever looked at on Amazon? Cindy said they have a bunch of stuff too over there.
Oh yeah, Amazon. I look through the stuff once in a while. I'll find something, and sometimes I don't. Yeah, that's where I got the Milligauss meter from, Amazon.
Do you have trouble with the green laser grid as far as not showing up on your in your infrared? Which one shows up better, the green or the red?
They're about the same.
You know, I've on ours, I don't know if our IR light is too strong for it or what, but it doesn't show all of the dots on it and stuff.
Well, if I'd have to pick one of the grids, I'd have to say the green because it's actually brighter than what the red is.
Yeah, it seems to be, doesn't it? If
Yeah.
you could only take one piece of equipment with you on an investigation, what piece of equipment would that be?
I'd probably have to say my camera.
Camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty hard choice to make, huh?
Yeah. Because, like I said, I know how to use all the equipment except for that new piece that I bought. So.
Joseph, on your what is your turnaround time between your investigation and when you do the reveal for the people normally? Do you have a certain time that you adhere to?
Like, depends how big the investigation really was. Usually when we go over the stuff, to get back to the person who did the investigation for it's usually anywhere from 24 to 48 hours.
Okay, you said you have 6 team members. That's including yourself. Is that correct?
Correct.
All males, male, female. What kind of group you have?
Male, female.
Male, female. Do you let the guys do one investigation and the ladies do the other, or do y'all mix it up?
We pretty much, we all get together and go and do this.
Okay. Mike and I have found that, well, we split ours up. The guys go on one, the ladies on another, because we have found that in some cases they may talk to the male first or the female. And if 2 of us are there, we really don't get a lot of responses sometimes. So we decided to just keep the group like that. Occasionally, Mike and I will do one together, but most of the time we let the guys do one and then the ladies do the other.
Hey, Joseph, who is your main camera person, or do y'all take turns?
It depends what camera you mean. If it's a video camera or the regular picture camera.
Yeah, the video, like, do you have a certain person that goes around and films you as you're doing your investigation, or do y'all just have your cameras with you and then do it from there?
We usually let Pat do that. He's mainly our tech, so usually use all the electronic camera stuff.
Is he a believer, or is he a skeptic?
He's a believer.
Is he?
Are all of you believers, or do you have any skeptics on there?
We actually have one skeptic, and he's actually my next door neighbor.
Oh.
Anything happened to him to bring him over?
I tried calling him. He's not even home. So
No. I said, has anything happened to him to bring him over to our side?
Yeah, make him change his mind about being a skeptic.
Not that I can recall. He just figured he needs something to do, and actually going ghost hunting would be something different from the do.
Well, one of these days it will happen. Mike, when we first started, was the skeptic, the big debunker. Not anymore.
That's funny that you say that. This last investigation we were at, he said that the hairs on his arms were standing straight up. It felt like something touched them.
Ah, well, he's getting initiated then. And, you know, sometimes it seems like they go to the skeptics first. They get them first.
They got me pretty good, I guarantee you, a couple of times. Do you produce your videos, or where are your videos shown at, Joseph? Do you have any YouTube presence that we can send the people to?
I think we have a couple on YouTube. I'm not really sure. Now I wish Nikki was here. She could answer that question.
Have you ever heard of a site called Paranormal Warehouse?
Yes.
Have you got anything on there?
I don't think.
Okay. They're down right now. They're redoing their site. They've been down for about a month now, but when they come back up, you might want to look at it and join them, because they have a good outlet too. Of course, YouTube does.
Speaking of YouTube, yes, I think we do have a couple on there.
Okay. So these people can go to YouTube and search for Altoona, Pennsylvania Paranormal Society and find it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also they can go to their Facebook page and search for Altoona, Pennsylvania Paranormal Society, and then it'll bring them to your page. That way they can hit that like button that we all like a lot, right?
Correct.
Okay. Your EVPs and stuff, do you have any of those posted? The voices that you've caught? Do you ever do any posting on those?
The one video, right after the one video on YouTube, I think there is an EVP there, and I think on their one site, there is a couple on there.
Do you take any kind of precautions before you do your investigation? I know Cindy, being an ordained minister, we do a prayer of protection, St. Michael's prayer, before we go in. Do y'all have anything like that you do before you go in, or what?
Yeah, I like to have a little prayer session myself, but there's a couple people on the team who don't really deal with the prayer because their religion's Wiccan.
Do you, when y'all leave, do you do any kind of binding or tell the spirits that, I know when we leave, Cindy does a little binding prayer to keep the spirits from following us home, but sometimes it don't work.
Yeah. We always have the saying that they're not allowed to leave where they're at. They must stay where they're put. They cannot follow us. We always say that before we leave the premises.
Does it do any good? Have you ever had anything follow you home?
Actually, yeah, once.
Well, explain a little bit, man. I'm curious.
Actually, it wasn't really anything bad. It was actually a little girl that followed us home.
Did y'all?
She's pretty much like.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Did y'all have to?
Pretty much like following us around.
Is she still there?
I haven't really noticed anything lately. Like I said, I wish Nikki was here. She'd be able to tell you more on that.
Well, you're doing good, man. I mean, you're answering some good questions. Where would y'all like to see your team, Joseph, in the next 5 years? What would you like to see for your team?
Basically, I'm not really out there to get real big like Taps does on TV. I'm only here to do what I gotta do because I like doing it.
Well, it's
not really to get big. If we're still around in 5 years, good for us. If something happens that blows out proportion that people stop hearing stuff from that, so be it.
I'm really disappointed in TAPS, the way they've turned around and started doing their little faking things, and they need to teach their investigators how to act a little better when they hear something or they see something, because it's too obvious that what's going on now. Now they're just playing around. They're not taking it as serious as they used to.
Because they got more into the money and the ratings took over
yep.
stuff.
Absolutely. They've got to have the ratings to have that money, and that is just not right.
Well, Joseph, tell us again, we're going to have to wrap it up. Tell us again how the listeners out there can get a hold of you through your Facebook and your webpage.
All right, get on their Facebook, go to www.Altoona, Pennsylvania Paranormal Society.com. And you'll find us right there. We have two sites. One's orange letters and one's all orange.
All right. We would like to thank you. We really appreciate you joining us. And you have a great weekend. And Mike will have the final word.
Word. Joseph, thanks, buddy, for being here, man. Hey, if you ever get that...
Thank you for having us.
If you get that picture we were talking about, that apparition, if you ever get it up, post it on our page over here. Huh?
If you get on the site, you'll see an apparition from the hospital. It's an apparition of a nurse.
I'm going to have to go look. I looked at it, your main one. I never did find the orange one. I'm going to go back and look when we get out of here. But, yeah, I'd like to see that.
There was a hospital that closed down here a few months back, and got a friend in there who was taking pictures with one of us, and he caught the apparition of a nurse coming out of the room.
Wow. I might have to go look at that thing. Joseph.
Oh, it might be.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
We're stepping on each other, buddy. We're going to have to wrap it up, Joseph. I appreciate you being on, and you keep in touch with us through the Facebook. Let's see what we can get together.
Can you tell me what your site is real quick?
Yeah, if you will go to McLennan County Paranormal Investigations.
You kind of muffled up there for a second. Can you repeat that?
McLennan County, McLennan County Paranormal Investigations.
Okay.
All righty. Hit me on Facebook.
Thank you.
Let's stay in touch.
Yeah, will do. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Tell Nicole you did a bang-up job, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You know, we just got off of 2 weeks of public invited ghost hunts. You want
2 exhausting weekends.
Yep. The first one was at the Dr. Pepper Museum.
And Kellum Rotan building.
Tell them a little bit about what happened.
We did investigations. No, Dr. Pepper Museum was very, very interesting.
Yes, it was. First time something ever happened.
We were on the 3rd floor because most of the activity came from up there, like footsteps and shadows and knocking and apparitions.
Full-bodied.
Yes. So we decided to do 3rd floor, and we went into the conference room. I was amazed at the K2 meter that night, both nights.
Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, I said both nights.
I know. I just want to let them know it's Friday and Saturday.
Hello? Anyone home?
And somebody, this is the 5th time I've been talking, well, not talking, listening to. Sounds like they're trying to talk to me through these headphones. It sounds so strange. But anyway, we even had a skeptic come up to the front of the conference room. I was sitting on the platform up front. Platform.
Stage.
It's a platform.
Platform.
And had her hold it while we asked questions. We checked the whole area first. And you know what the K2 meter is. It measures electromagnetic fields.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's flat.
Very flat. Mm-hmm. Everywhere except by the podium. And the reason for that is they have it wired to their speakers and to their DVD player and things like that.
I'd like to also mention that we did have 2 EM pumps pumping up the volume, but they were nowhere near the K2.
No, not at all. And like I said, on one of the nights, we had Skeptic come up there. She didn't believe in all of that stuff. We had her hold the K2 meter, and we asked for any spirits there to come close to it, make it light up one time for yes, twice for no.
Yeah, to show her, you said to show her that.
Absolutely, to show her that
they
we
actually there.
Right, and we weren't doing anything to cause that thing to light up. She was holding it. It was responding.
Yes, it was. Do you see her eyes?
Yes, and also, she, I think she's the one that asked, "Do you like me?" Well, it liked her. It liked her holding that K2 meter. Another incident with those things that never occurred before is, I said something about birds or maybe rats, and I said if it's rats, you just stay on the other side. And everybody started laughing. Well, this K2 was flashing, pegging it all the way to red, like it was laughing along with us.
Back and forth. Every time.
Anytime we laughed, both nights, it did the same thing, like it was laughing with us.
To clarify that, they were hearing something up toward the ceiling, and there was kind of a scratching noise or tapping noise or something like that. And that's when Cindy said, it could be birds or rats, but if it's rats,
they better stay away from me.
Everybody started laughing, and this K2 would light back and forth, and it wouldn't stop until everybody stopped laughing. But do you remember what happened after that?
No, you tell me.
You said, "Are you laughing at us?" What happened? It started doing it again.
Yes.
When nobody else was laughing. That was the only time that night it did that. But it did it again Saturday night, and it did it in West, too.
Yes, it did.
And we had a new investigator along with us named Ken Strong. We used the spirit box. It's a AM/FM radio that scans the dials and nonstop. And the theory behind that is that the spirits can use the white noise in between the stations to amplify their voices. And he had his down in the basement of the Kellum Rotan building, which is the third oldest building in Waco. It was built around the turn of the century. And this basement was...
Which turn?
Well, in the late 1800s. This basement is really creepy. I mean, the way it is, it looks like an old abandoned subway station. It has all the original 3x14 rafters, and I mean, you could tell it's old. But he was filming this, and nobody said a word, and his name is Ken, and all of a sudden you hear this come through that box. "Hello, Ken." No doubt that was a spirit voice. And what else happened that night? Anything? The flashlight. We didn't get much flashlight, did we?
No, not much flashlight activity.
Not much flashlight.
It was more K2.
And it was answering direct questions.
Yes, it was. Direct answers to our questions. Also, we had left the back door open, one of the doors to the conference room. I think it made people feel more comfortable. And there was a window directly across from it, and it has a big screen up over the platform area. You could see the window on that screen. And then every once in a while, this was brought to our attention by our junior investigator, Robert, the bottom half of it would darken. So on two separate occasions, another investigator, Becky, and our daughter, Robert's our grandson, would go out and watch outside to see if there was any cars, any street lights, anything that would cause that to do that. Well, she never did see anything. Mike, on a separate investigation, checked, and it was still doing the same. It was like something was walking right across or right up to that door and blocking out the light, the bottom half.
The Saturday night investigation, remember, I actually saw that shadow, and I went looking for it.
Yep, and then also, he was up there, and the bottom half was darkened, but you could see his shoulders and his head. He'd lift his arm, you could see his hand. It was really strange. We've not yet figured that one out.
What about West? We did the old Best Theater, which closed in 1972, and we did the old Katy train station that has a World War memorial in it.
And we were getting K2 hits and laughing as well on that K2.
One time.
It's so weird.
It's like whatever it was followed us.
Yes, it was.
And we kept getting, through the ghost box, we kept getting the name Robert, which we thought was a kid.
Mm-hmm. And we got it there, and it was picked up at the Best Theater as well.
And we found out.
Yeah, we'll explain about the Best Theater in a minute, what we found out. This is from, let's see, Friday night, when the big skeptic was there in one of our groups. Told another little lady it was all rigged, we were fake and everything like that. It was Saturday night. Something happened at the Best Theater that kind of brought some things to light. Saturday night, the young lady come up to me and said, yeah, I'm coming in, but they said y'all were faking it. Y'all got remote controls to make all this stuff do this. And I said, I tell you what, you can come in. We'll let you hold that K2 meter because that's what we're getting all of the hits on, all of our answers from. So she did hold it, and then she started asking questions about someone they called High Pockets. And High Pockets was probably close to 7 foot tall.
6'8", yeah.
Police constable back in the day, and he would walk the streets of West.
Cindy's hearing noises again in her earphones.
Only on one side, only on my left side. It's like they're trying to talk to me. Anyway, she kept saying, is that you, High Pockets? I know your real name. Tell me your real name. 2 separate occasions there. During that session, we heard the name Robert very plainly. These were Class A EVPs, came through. Robert. Well, she continued to talk, and she kept saying, Daniel, is that you? So we weren't sure about what his first name was, but since she said Daniel, we thought it was Daniel. Well, there was a gentleman there that was a believer, well, sort of. I'm not going to say he was a complete skeptic, Mr. Vazelka. It was a pleasure to meet him and his son.
Yeah, they were good people.
And he was sitting close to her. He said, can I hold that? She wasn't getting too many hits, but she was getting a few. When he took it, it went crazy.
It did.
It went absolutely nuts. It was like something just walked right over there to him and was there, standing right by him. And I guess trying to show the skeptic, you know, what it was all about, that it really was someone there. After we ended that night, Mr. Vaselka and his son left and turned around and came back because his son had done
about an hour later.
It was not
2 hours.
No. It was within a matter of 15 minutes. You're thinking about somebody else because it was a matter of minutes because we were wrapping up. And he said, I wanted to show you something. He was all excited, the son did. And he said, I did some research, and I wanted to tell you what High Pocket's first name was, because we heard this name twice in the theater. And I said, what was his first name?
Robert.
His first name was Robert. I'm getting goosebumps even saying it. I said, that is great. I mean, that is just... Sometimes we get something like that, and it's just so exciting to know that we actually communicated with someone that had passed over. And he lived back in when was he the constable?
It was early 1900s,
20s, 30s maybe?
Teens, yeah.
Well, we're going to have to double check that. We want to make sure that
he
our history.
He was well loved by a lot of people.
Yep, and there are pictures of him, and you can tell he's a tall man, and very tall man. And he has been seen in, it was Cafe Vin. They have now changed that to a different restaurant. That Cafe Vin was great. I don't know why they had to close. But they think they caught his shadow in the back.
You could tell.
Because it was a really tall...
And you know what's funny?
Mass back there.
You know what's funny about that?
What?
is that it was caught during the daytime when a gentleman come in with he was with a wine magazine.
Right.
He took pictures, placed it in the magazine, and it showed up in the magazine.
And who even caught? I mean, who even saw it? I don't think the guy that did.
James did. James or Michael.
One of the owners of the the cafe is the one that saw it back there, and it was peeking around the corner at him from down at the end of the hall, close to the bathrooms where they often see a shadow.
It was right by an ice box. Ice box. Now that I'm 6'5", and that ice box is probably about 6 foot tall. This thing was at least chest, head, and shoulders above that. And mine, I'm just head and shoulders above it. But it was a very very interesting night. So I wish it hadn't have been so cold. It was like in the 30s that night, and I think it deterred a lot of people from coming in. But we had a real good time that night. Getting back to the Kellum Rotan building, there were some pictures taken by attendees out there that they have sent us, and one of them, if you look on our website, if you go to your Facebook page, search for McClendon County Paranormal Investigations. When you hit our site, give us a like button and look at the photos that we've posted from that night. It shows what looks like a white figure, a misty white figure of a woman in a long dress, and it looks like she's got a hood over her head.
A shawl, possibly.
A shawl, a cowl, whatever you want to call it.
She's had a cow on her head.
Cow. But that was one of the best pictures. You could actually tell it is a figure over there. Another one shows what looks like a shadow in the very back of the basement area. But I mean, it was weird. And in the theater, what was it, Saturday night? And Mr. Fazelka was the one who got hit by this. We had something that was thrown, and it hit this gentleman that we were telling you about in the leg. And of all things, it was a tooth. A tooth actually hit him. And you can tell it's an old tooth, and it's a real. We also had a, what they call a douche mark, or whatever it is.
Douche mark.
Oh, I can't say it. A German coin token. Where did that come out? What else? Was it a Saint Christopher's medal?
Did you hear what he said?
Don't get it started.
Hey, Chuck, did you hear what he said?
Do you speak Russian?
I don't think Chuck's listening. I hope he is. But
he sent a message. He was trying to pick us up. Yeah.
But I mean, it's weird. And that douche mark. I said douche, however you say it. Okay. That hit the guy in the depot came from that area over there where they had that Nazi flag on the wall.
What did it do?
Quit.
Okay, folks, we're going to have to wrap it up. I hope you have a great evening and a wonderful weekend. Good night to you, and Mike will take you on out.
That's all, folks. We hope you guys enjoyed it. We're crazy, and it's not your run-of-the-mill talk program, so please come back and listen to us. Go to our Facebook and look around, see what you can, see what you think about us. And
see what you think about us.
I don't know if they should after this. Y'all have a good weekend. Don't forget to turn your clocks back an hour tomorrow night. Otherwise, you'll get to work probably an hour early, and you're not going to like that. Anyway, adios until next week. Y'all have a good day.
That's all she wrote.